Hi, I'm Danielle Lewis of Selfish Me Travel. It's April 6th, 2023, and I'm here live reporting on the latest travel industry news. As I reported last month, the U.S. Passport Office is backed up again. Current processing times are taking between 10 and 13 weeks, and expedited is taking between 7 and 9 weeks. This does not include mail delivery times, which could be 2 weeks on either side, mailing to the U.S. Passport Office or then mailing back to you. If you were my client, I automatically send you a warning email 364 days before your expiration, before your passport expiration, because I feel that you should renew 1 year in advance. After that initial warning, I send another email 300 days before expiration, and a final email 200 days before expiration. After that, I send you a text message about a week or two later. If you ignore all those warnings, then it'll be on you to suffer through the panic that I see currently on the travel groups and forums on Facebook right now. In other news, effective April 1, Turks and Caicos dropped its COVID vaccine requirements for tourists. It had already eliminated mask requirements last year. The country, however, still does strongly recommend that travelers receive both the COVID-19 vaccine and the flu vaccine, but neither will be a requirement for entry into the islands from this point on. Also effective April 1, South Korea removed its fees and permits requirements for the USA and Canada passport holders. So we'll no longer need to complete the online processing prior to arriving in that country. Airport and train strikes in England, France, and Germany disrupted travel last month, already this month, and will probably continue in the EU through the always busy summer travel season as France, Italy, Greece, Spain, and Ireland continue to be some of the most requested countries for vacation. Wave season, which is January through March every year, showed that the cruise industry continues to rebound with greater demand. And with more new cruise lines, ships, and sailing routes this year and next year, the forecast is that cruising will continue to break records. Note, a lot of cruise lines, Ocean, River, and Expedition, are extending their free or partial airfare or their free land pre and post cruise package, promotions through this month. Normally they end March 31st, but they're continuing some of their offerings. They're extending some of their offerings through this month. Crystal Cruises is back. After suffering bankruptcy in the pandemic, the new ownership will honor guests who lost money with credits towards future cruises. If you were one of those people who lost money with Crystal, then you need to go to the website that I've included in the description to see if you qualify for the credit. Staffing shortages continue to be a problem in the travel industry worldwide, but the shortage of qualified pilots and air traffic controllers in the US are hitting the airline industry really hard. Routes, especially in the regional markets, are being cut back drastically by the major US airlines. I always tell my clients, family, and friends who book their own flights on the smaller budget carriers to make sure there is another flight that day, later that day, the next day, and the day after, just in case of cancellations. Statistics show that airlines have already cut 10% of scheduled flights this spring over pilot and crew shortages. And the FAA has asked airlines to cut even more schedules in order to deal with the lack of qualified air traffic controllers. The Protection from Abusive Passengers Act has been reintroduced in Congress. This bill could ban a growing number of airline passengers who are either assessed a civil penalty for or convicted of violence or intimidation in the air. The bill would also permanently ban abusive passengers from participating in the TSA PreCheck or Customs Global Entry programs, along with many other restrictions and fines. I have clients flying all over the world this summer, but apparently Mexico is prevalent in the USA news. I can't tell you what's safe for you and your family. And while I can't vouch for all of Mexico, the Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Riviera Maya regions, which are in the state of Quintana Roo, has a U.S. State Department travel advisory of level 2, which is exercise increased caution. That is the same level number 2, exercise increased caution, as the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, etc. See the link in my description to look up countries that interest you. Finally, the travel industry thought that the travel industry thought that 2022 was going to be the year of revenge travel, but we've seen such an overwhelming surge in 2023 of people who are not only desperate to take a vacation, but who are also willing to pay way more than necessary. I've received several last-minute requests for this summer. We're talking Memorial Day week and June, and the prices have surpassed even what I thought they might be. As mentioned, staff shortages are worldwide, and that includes hotels, tour operators, drivers, guides, customer service reps, sales support, etc. And getting an answer can take weeks sometimes, especially on last-minute requests. You have to go in the back of the line, even though it's a last-minute request. I preach and preach and preach and preach about planning ahead, and will continue to do so, because planning ahead will definitely save you time, money, and stress. This is Danielle of Selfish Me Travel, owner and CTO, that's Chief Travel Officer of Selfish Me Travel, a full-service travel agency with a focus on helping busy women plan selfishly indulgent culinary and wildlife vacations. Let me take away the stress of research and planning for your solo travels or your small group trips while you relax and enjoy your time away. Peace.